Test. Test, test. All right, Kennedy gets this one forward up to Allie. Allie will feed it to Greta. Greta goes off of the back, off of the libero actually, and gets herself the kill. Greta to serve. She'll go down the left side with it. Middle takes a big swing, finds the net, and we'll take the early 2-0 lead. Greta down the right side. This one comes to the outside. Good hands on it as Allie and Cam go up and set the wall up, and Jane hammers that one down the left side. As we're here in the finals of the Backyard Bash, taking on WB18 National. This was the number one team coming in, seated in the pool, or in the bracket total, in the tournament. And they went through their pool one out, and they won their semifinal match. Reagan will get that one up to Allie. She'll back set it to Cam. And they're not going to say there was a touch, and that'll go too far. And that'll be the first WB point. From the best I can tell, this team, WB18 National, is Western Buckeyes from around the Cincinnati area in Ohio. And Cam will send that one a little too far as well. We'll be at 3-2. We'll see if this group can do a little better job at the scores table than the last. Kennedy up to Allie. She one-hands it. Jane will tap it over, and we'll regroup. Tough cut. Kept it over the net. Allie to Greta from behind the 10-foot line. Good swing. That's going to come over into Reagan with the one-hander up to Allie. Big swing cross court. Touch it at the net, and we're tied at 3. So this one will be for all the marbles. Champion here will walk away with the coveted Golden Spatula Award for the Backyard Bash, as Greta will get that one up to Allie, and a good swing by Jane, picked up by WB. Another one-hander by Reagan, and a great play all around by her and Allie, and Kennedy will send it free ball over. This one's an easy one. Greta will get that one up to Allie, and Jane throws it at the libero. That one will make its way through the block, and we'll find ourselves in our first deficit, down 4-3. Greta to Allie, back sets it to Cam. This time she'll try the right side, punches it over. That was a big nasty swing by the middle that didn't make it higher than the net. And the law of physics say it's got to be higher than the net to come over and earn you a point. Tied at 4. Setter gets a quick one to the middle, and that's going to find a spot on our side of the court. There's a tough one as that kind of nosedive at the feet of Jane, and Kennedy unable to come up with it. Another nosediver comes back here to the Siete, and we're down 3. Girls need to get a side out here and turn the tide. And that one will go up and over Kennedy and out of bounds. Allie will try the middle right. Huge block by Jane. That was picked up, though, by WB. Reagan will get that cross-court hit to Allie. Jane tools that off the block. It cuts that lead to 1 at the old 6-7 score. Allie, too much of that one. She'll send it just too far, and we'll go back down 2. Reagan will duck down and get that one up to Liv. Jane tried to cut that one to the right side and didn't get it over the net. Greta played that one last second as they were all yelling out, and I think I agree with Greta. I think that was going to fall in. It ended up being a WB point. We're down 4. Girls need to get a side out right here. Greta up to Liv, back sets it to Jane, and there it is, as Jane will power that one through the block. Double block up, she hit it off of the right side's, would be their outside, but the girl to my right side's off her middle arm. By middle arm, the 2 girls side by side. Hey, and there's one that crawls up and over the net for Chloe, but WB able to pick it up, but they hit it out here to the wall. Cuts that lead to 2. Chloe will go again this time, keeps it off the net and hits it back right. That's going to sail long, and they're going to call a touch. I didn't see who was the touch. Must have been at the net. I didn't see the contact in the backcourt. Chloe to Liv. She just has to punch it over. Then Liv will get the one hand. And somehow that went our way. Back to that theory of just keep the ball in play. And that'll take us to the 9-11 score. And once again, we would like to acknowledge our military, our first responders, everyone out there that keeps us safe. We love and support you all. Thank you for all you do. Reagan serve will come back at us pretty quick from the middle, but then we get a good swing on it. It goes all the way back to the barricade there, and a free ball coming. Chloe up to Liv. Liv, quick feed to Greta. Greta puts that one down in the middle quick. Lead down to 1. Reagan goes left side, too strong and too far to the left. And we'll turn it back over to WB. Chloe ducks under that one, and they'll hand it right back to us with a service error of their own. We'll see Kennedy come in to serve. She tries a short one. It's picked up. This goes over to the outside. There's a good clean hit from the outside as that one, no chance for the back row to get to it. Reagan, Allie will get under it, and Chloe will send it over. To the outside, hands on it. Kennedy runs it down. Allie feeds it out to Greta, and Greta's rejected. And that'll draw a timeout from Gabby. We're down 14-11 here in the first set of the championship match. We'll be back after this timeout. All right, we're out of the timeout. Kennedy has that one come over towards the fans, and Allie tried to run it down, but ran out of space. They'll come back at Kennedy. Allie is able to run it down this time, and Greta will dump it back left. From their outside, hands on it at the net. Kennedy gets a hand on it, and Reagan will play the out of system to Greta. Good play by WB to keep it alive. Allie feeds it over to Greta. She'll cut it into the middle. Dumped over. Kennedy lays out, but not able to play it up as their setter caught us sleeping. This one at Reagan. She'll get it up to Allie. Greta gets that one off the net, off the blocking down. That'll cut that little run for WB. See if the girls can move some points forward here. Cut into this 4-point advantage for WB. Greta to the donut hole. Libero plays it up. Good job getting a block on it. We'll just send it over. And then that's dumped into the coffin corner there in the front, and nobody able to get it. Girls need to find some solutions quick. As it is 17-12, and that'll drop in front of Greta and make it 18-12. Another timeout for Gabby. We'll be back after the timeout. All right, we're out of the timeout, and this one will come at Kennedy. Greta's going to help her and get it to Jane. Sprayed around a little bit, and Jane cleans up the overpass. And that'll end that, but we're down 5 with Cam serving. See if she can get some of those heaters in and put some points on our side. She'll go with the libero. Setter's going to push it back to her right side, and that's going to go. Wow, I thought that was out of bounds, but I don't have the right angle. It was coming right at the down linesman, or the linesman, I should say, line judge. Kennedy overpass cleaned up by the middle, and not what we're looking for as we're down 7 here, rolling into the back third of set 1. Girls need to get some mojo going. Greta to Allie. Zoe Davis will have to switch to the left hand, but showed some skill as she went up and put that away with the left. No better time than the present for Allie to run through some of those aces she's been known for early in the season. That one's going to spray off a little bit. We'll get a swing from the outside, and man, that was a hard cut down close to the 10-foot line, and not what I was expecting to see from that kind of sporadic opportunity for them, but good swing by their outside. Reagan up to Liv. Liv back sets it to Jane. Jane took care of that one, took it off the block. All right, Chloe, let's put some good aces in a row here. Wouldn't mind seeing a full house of them. To the middle. That's rejected by Zoe Squared. Off the net, Liv has to run it down. Reagan will get the out of system to Greta. Greta's rejected, and Reagan will dive in and play that up. In the middle, will swing it into the net. And that'll be a Rockwood point. And I'm having all kinds of fun with this touchscreen. It should be 16. There we go. 16-21. Chloe to the back right. Setter's going to dump it. Liv's right there. Reagan will feed it to Greta. Greta goes back left corner. Over to the outside. And that's a big swing with a lot of court. And as a reminder, this is an 18s team. The team we beat in the semifinals was a 16s team. We were the only two 16s teams in this tournament. And that's going to go a little wide as Greta got all of that one. Now the points are scarce. 23-16. No room for error here. Girls need to get a side out and start racking up some points. Chloe will get a little help from Reagan on that one, and Greta will tool it off the block. Reagan down the left side with it. And outside, Liv plays it. And Chloe ran it down. Reagan made a good effort at it, but unable to get it back over the net. And we're at set point here in set one. Chloe up to Liv. Back sets it to Zoe. Zoe tools it, hits it off through the block, but picked up by WB. And then one cross court. Reagan will get it played up. Liv runs it down. Chloe free balls it over, and then a slide over to their right side. A diving effort by Reagan to play that up. Good swing by Greta, picked up by WB. Hands on at the net. Chloe to Liv. Back sets it to Zoe, and Zoe parks. Goes too long with it, and that'll do it. Set one in the books will fall to the WB18 national team. We'll have to come back and win this in three, as we'll be back to bring you set two here once both coaches reset their lineups. All right, we're ready to get set 2 underway, and do or die for the Thunder right now, as they got to win this one to push it to 3 sets here in the championship. We'll start off with Chloe sending it down the left side. Over to the outside, to the wall. Oops, why am I doing that? That's crazy. And that first point will go towards Rockwood. Chloe will try that left side again. This time it'll spray off and land to the ace, and we'll be up 2-0. This time she'll send it at the libero. Quick set to the middle. Timing was off. Zoe Parks plays it, and looked like Zoe Davis won the joust. And another point for the Thunder. Chloe goes left side again. Setter's going to send it over to her right side. Chloe plays this one all the way up and over, and Zoe Parks able to pick up the cleanup by the middle on the overpass, and this one's bounced around. Chloe gets it to Liv, back to Zoe. Zoe through the block and down. Doing a good job of keeping her eyes open and seeing that just small opening between the block and nobody in that gap right. And putting the ball down pretty successfully so far. Chloe will go left side again. Setter gets it to her middle, tipped over. Great job by Zoe Parks to play that. And Reagan gets it to Greta, sends it cross court. That one will come through the block from the outside and down into the Hertz donut. Chloe to Liv. Greta will try to tip it into the middle, but played up by WB. Good job by Greta to keep her eye on that as that got deflected. And there's a tough swing by the outside and a bunch of open court in the back. Serve that one in the middle. Reagan will step in front of it, gets it to Liv. She'll find Zoe Davis. Dumps it back left. From the outside, just tipped over. Greta's got it. Liv dumps it, but the middle was prepared. Zoe Davis picks it up, gets eventually to Zoe Parks, and she'll have too much on that one for the block and hammers that one through down on their side. That'll put Reagan back behind the line. She'll send it left side and gets the ace. She pulled the string on that one last second, and it dropped down in that back left corner. She'll go right back to that left side. And the right side takes a big swing at it, and Liv got her arms on it, but it sent it over to the bench. And Reagan tried to track it down, but ran out of geography, and that'll be a WB point. Chloe to Liv. She'll get it to Zoe. Zoe this time was blocked, but a good job by Reagan to run that down, and we'll send it over and regroup. That's a long one, and that goes for the home run. The home runs are not good in volleyball. That's a Rockwood point, 7-3. Kennedy will serve this one back middle. From the right side, hands on it at the net. Allie plays it. Kennedy will find Greta. She'll send it back middle. Tipped over by the outside. Allie finds Greta. Greta hits it through the block. And that's again tipped over. Allie, Cam wasn't able to do much with that one. That got a little sporadic, and that big middle on the other side did not play around with that one. She sent it back down pretty quick. 7-4 in favor of the Thunder. WB serving. Chloe to Allie, feeds Greta. And Greta didn't get that one up over the net. That ran down the net on our side. Kennedy will get a platform on that one, get some help from Chloe, and Greta sends it deep right. Whew. That was a big swing by their outside. And we're at the old 6-7 score again, but this time in our favor, 7-6. Reagan up to Allie. She'll turn and dump it. There's a kill for Allie. Caught them sleeping. And Greta's serve will find the net. Just nursing a 1-point lead here as WB goes back to serve. Reagan up to Allie. Allie will back feed it to Cam, and Cam was denied. We're tied at 8. Greta feeds it to Allie. Jane goes up and over the block, but the back row was ready for it. Good job by Kennedy to play that one. Allie gets it to Jane. She's blocked but picks up her rebound. Allie gives it to Jane one more time. And WB will win that joust and take the lead here by 1. Greta up to Allie, feeds it back to Cam. Cam blocked again and brought back on us. Kennedy. Allie dumps it again. This time WB was ready for it. Fed to the middle. That's going to be pushed out of bounds. So that's a Rockwood point. Lead is 1. Cam to serve. Cam will try the left side. That sprays off a little bit. From behind the 10-foot line. And they're going to say that touched the line, much to the chagrin of our coaches on the bench there, and the up ref doesn't overrule it. So it is what it is. And Greta will get the out of system to Jane, and that's a double hit. Can't do that. Jane will get the kill. And the up ref got a laugh out of that. Allie will try to seam right. This is going to come over to the outside. That one's no question. It's long, and we should be tied at 11. They're going to say somebody touched that. You've got to be kidding me. So instead of tied at 11, it's 12-10 in favor of this WB team. Jane up to Liv. She dumps it in the middle. It's played up. That's pushed over. Greta gets it to Liv. Zoe Parks will hit it through the block. Back row picks it up. Cut across. Reagan's there. Liv gets it back to Jane. Jane's blocked, but a great dig by Reagan and then played all the way over. And they're going to call a lift on us. And the parents are kind of losing their mind over here, as getting a little one-sided on the calls, as they were thinking we should have some lifts over on the other side. But there's no doubt on that one, as Jane put that away in a hurry. And by my count, we should be 13-11. The table has the same, and that's where we're at. So the girls got to come through, fight through all of this adversity, and find a way to battle back, as that one will find its way through the block and put us down 3, 14-11 here, and a do-or-die set for us, as we lost the first set. Girls got to win this one to push it to 3. Reagan will get that to Liv. She's going to push it back to, that's out of bounds. Got a little lucky on that one, as we were sporadic, and WB had a wide open court and just knocked that one out of bounds. Reagan will go down the left side. There's a good dig by Chloe. Zoe Parks just tried to dump it but found the net. Line driver, Chloe gets it to Liv, and Zoe Parks pushes it all the way back right. Kind of awkward play. That's long gone. Like the TWA ads, they're long gone. That one's history. 15-13 now in favor of WB, with Kennedy serving. Their middle will throw that one. We've seen that called before on us, but not today. Outside's going to dump it over. Kennedy's got it to Alley. Quick set to Delaney. Reagan with a quick grab on that one. Again blocked. Chloe will pick it up. This time Greta sends it cross court. Comes all the way over. Delaney feeds Alley. That's going to be a kill for Alley as she dumps it. And probably the easiest hit of all of that is the one that goes for the kill. All the hard hits were picked up. It's a crazy game, volleyball. Kennedy sends it back middle. Back set to the right side. That's blocked. All the way back over. And Greta tries to clean it up, but unable to. And there's a smooth swing by the outside into that gap seam left there. Reagan dove at it. Couldn't get there. Kennedy will play that up to Alley. Oh, off the basketball goal, but played up. Greta will get that. Delaney tips it over. That's a tough swing from the outside again. And 17-14. We probably got a little lucky. Delaney probably could have been called for a double, but this guy hasn't been calling those. So timeout from Coach Gabby as she's down 3 here. And again, got to win this set if we're going to push it to 3. We'll be back after the timeout. All right, we're out of the timeout. The girls need to make some hay here. WB to serve. This one into the middle. Reagan will play it to Alley with the slide to Delaney, and Delaney will tool that one through him. Greta will go back to serve. Sends that one, tough one over the right side. This is going to get pushed to the outside. That's been their hot hand. Reagan will play that one up nicely for Alley. She'll get it to Jane, and Jane hits it through the block. That's dumped over. Kennedy lays out to get it. Alley to Greta. Greta from behind the 10-foot line with the kill, and the lead is 1. Greta, goes right side. To the middle. That never made it over the net, but they're going to say it was blocked. There's a big dig by Reagan and unable to be played. I don't think that ever made it over the net, but we haven't had any luck with getting any calls our way, so why would I expect it different? 18-16. Kennedy, Greta, Jane. That one goes right side, tight to the net. Setter just has to play it over. Reagan up to Allie. Delaney off Reagan and no go. Back down 3, 19-16. Girls need to make a stop at it right here and not let this roll any deeper. Kennedy will get some help from Jane, and Greta will just hit it back row. That joust won by Jane. And that's what the doctor ordered. Couldn't read his handwriting, but that is what the doctor ordered. Delaney with a tough serve. Jane tries to clean up the overpass, but picked up by WB. And there's a rejection by Zoe. As Zoe Davis goes up and says, not on my watch. And there's a timeout from WB, and we'll be back after that. All right, Delaney set to serve, down 1. She hits a screamer down the left side and will land the ace. And we're tied at 19. Come on, Zeke, get on all 4 paws and pull this team through and win this second set. So send that one just a little too far. And we'll roll into the back third, deficit 1, with WB serving. Kennedy will have this one go up in the air on her. And Greta helps her out. Jane will go up left hand and get the ambidextrous kill. That's right. I said a big word, ambidextrous. I'm not just a pretty face and a nice voice. Jane will serve it up tight at 20. Bounced around. That's going to get tipped out of bounds, and Rockwood Thunder will take the lead as we go into the back third, 21-20. Jane will call that right side. Setter is going to push it to her right side. Cross court, Jane plays it. Greta with the out of system. Jane has to free ball it over. Pushed over the outside, off the high hands. That's touched. I'll agree with the up ref on that one. Tied at 21, WB serving. And there was a mix-up on who to go for that. Did a little hokey pokey, and that one hit the floor. We'll be back after this timeout from Gabby, down 1, 22-21. All right. I think that's all the timeouts Gabby has. I think WB might have one left. Jane has that one go off of her, but she gets some help from her teammates. And Zoe Parks, oh my God, caught him by surprise with just a crazy, easy free ball over. And WB must have been in some REM nap time right there, as that one just fell straight to the floor, and we're tied at 22. This one at the libero. The setter's going to get it to her middle, and that one was turned on and hit down quick. And must not have liked my comment, because they were aiming for the siete for that one. Had to stick out the paw to protect the studio booth. 23-22 in favor of WB. Short serve. Chloe picks it up. Allie feeds Greta. Greta hits it around the block, but picked up by the libero. Dumped over by the outside. Chloe's got it. Allie to Zoe Parks. Around the block, picked up by libero. Reagan high hands it. Allie does a good job of playing it up, and we play on. That cross court too much to handle, though, as Reagan laid out for it, but couldn't get to it. And it is set and match point right now for WB. Chloe will get it to Allie. Zoe Davis dumps it back left. Back set to the outside, and that's down, and that'll do it. We'll take second in the backyard bash, as this 18's WB team was a little too much for the girls today. We enjoyed having you. Zeke, we loved having you as our team mascot this weekend. Hope you're enjoying a nice, cold, refreshing bowl of water and some shade out there. Chrissy, thanks for bringing him. And we will see you guys in a couple weeks in Boston, I believe. That's it for now. Thanks for joining the Siete.